Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Mahaney from California Pet Acupuncture and Wellness. I'm here today with I Love Dogs to discuss pet health conditions associated with being overweight or obese.
What are some of the health risks associated with overweight dogs?
And actually, there are many health conditions associated with a pet being overweight or obese. From arthritis to high blood pressure to even endocrine problems, everything is associated with the excess stress that being overweight or obese puts on a pet's body. Particularly arthritis, that's probably one of the places that we see health problems occur the most. When you have too much weight on a pet's joints, the joints themselves become inflamed, which creates pain, which inhibits your pet's ability to walk or move, which therefore limits their exercise, so it actually creates like a nasty downward cycle. So always strive to keep your pet's body weight very slim throughout their life, and your pet will definitely appreciate you for it.
Shelby's ideal weight, averaged from her 2 assumed breeds, is 60 to 80 pounds and 19 to 23 inches at the withers. Her height is perfect. She's 22 inches at the withers, but she weighs 83 pounds. How do I determine where her best weight is and how much we should target for her to lose?
When determining a dog's ideal body weight, it really doesn't matter so much what the scale says. I always recommend using the scale as a guideline, but more closely focus on a pet's body condition score. The Ohio State University Veterinary Nutrition Support Service actually has a scale that I use in my clinical practice. The scale ranges from 1 to 5, with 1 being the extreme of thinness and 5 being the extreme of obesity. And in using that scale and giving our pets a score based on how their body feels, we can determine if they are too thin, just right, or very overweight. So the way that we determine that is by feeling over the ribs to see if we can actually feel any tissue over the ribs. There should be a little thin layer of fat there, but you should still be able to palpate your pet's ribs. And also looking down from the top. When you look at the pet from the top, they should come to a little bit of a waist behind their last rib. There also shouldn't be any pendulous fat hanging down from beneath. So I recommend referencing the Ohio State University scale, giving your pet a body condition score, and then using that as a guideline to then pair that with body weight to determine what's appropriate for my pet, and then hopefully getting them to maintain that slim body weight and good body condition throughout their life.
Shelby's regular food intake consists of 2 cups of kibble per day. She also gets training treats on walks as we're working on some obedience projects with her. Since identifying her weight issues, I've cut her down to 1.5 cups of kibble per day and added in a green tea supplement. Are there other diet modifications that we should be making?
Modifying a pet's diet to help to promote weight loss is certainly the right way to go. And number 1, restricting calories is the way to do it. Just because you have food doesn't mean that you should share your food with your pet. And when you feed your pet his or her own food, it always should be measured in a very specific metric measuring cup. You don't want to just eyeball the amount. You actually want to make sure that you're feeding the quantity that's recommended for their body weight or less. If you're actually planning on promoting your pet's weight loss, then absolutely feed less than what is the recommended quantity on the side of the bag, box, or can. You can help to dilute your pet's calories some by actually taking away some of the pet food and adding a high fiber, high moisture, even high nutrient vegetable. One of my favorites is steamed cauliflower. You can steam it till it's still firm but maybe a little bit soft, chop it up finely, mash it up, or even make a puree. You can put that into your pet's food, maybe along with another or 2 high nutrient vegetables like baby carrots or steamed spinach, or even mushrooms. All really have great qualities. Low calorie, high fiber, high moisture that can help to dilute the nutrients that's being provided by your pet's food and even give your pet kind of a really nice healthy punch of real food instead of the processed ingredients that go into most pet foods. So really think about diluting your pet's calories, removing some of their normal food, and hopefully helping to give them some replacement calories with some very, very high quality human grade food instead.
Are there particular things we should watch out for during Shelby's dieting process?
If you're striving to promote your pet to lose weight, it is important that we don't actually kind of spin back into the place where the pet is too thin. And that actually is something that is something I work through with my clients. We are promoting the pet to lose weight, but we don't want them to become skin and bones. In general, when I see pets go on a more whole food based diet with real meats, real vegetables, probably fewer carbohydrates because they're often eating less grains, these pets do become on the thinner side, so we just want to make sure that they're not too thin. We don't want to see ribs. We don't want to see like a really corseted, constricted waist. We should be able to still have a little bit of fat on our bones. We certainly want that. But if you're promoting your pet's weight loss and you're exercising, then we want to really make sure that we don't push them too hard in the exercise process. You want to start very gradually. If your dog is just used to walking around your neighborhood, you can add an extra block or maybe an extra 5 or 10 minutes to each walk. Maybe gradually working up to doing something a little more challenging like hiking, which is a nice consistent process. I tend to not recommend weight loss through activities like ball chasing and things like that because that's much more high impact and likely to put stress on the body. So in promoting weight loss with your dog, really try to focus on the activities being consistent and safe, and focus on trying to make sure they don't actually lose too much weight. And that's where working with your veterinarian is important, so your veterinarian can help you in the process through consistent weigh-ins on the same scale, and also making sure that if we're modifying the diet, we're not modifying it too extremely. We don't want to say feed an all 100% protein diet from meat. We want to have there be a balance of meat and vegetables and fruits to add real fiber and nutrients to their diet so they feel full and satisfied and they can lose weight at the same time.